goals from Eduardo Sacha and Felipe Jonathan were enough to hold off the 2017 Copa Libertadores champions. The following tactical analysis will show how Santos managed to sneak away with the 2-1 victory. Gremio's team news. Gremio came into this game with tons of momentum, having had a very competitive preseason. They won the Copa Gaucho final against the fierce rivals International whilst competing in the Copa Libertadores. Having beaten Libertad, the group leaders, 2-0 in Paraguay, they now have the chance to qualify into the next round if they can beat Universidad Católica at home next Wednesday. Despite keeping the majority of the squad intact, there were a few departures. The exit of Marcelo Grow at midfielders Ramiro to Corinthians, and Cicero to Batavogard, and striker Jael Tokyo FC. All significant rotation players who helped Gremio win the Copa Libertadores 2 years ago. During these matches, Gremio has been able to help several of their new signings get some much-needed playing time, giving them time to gel with the core group of players. Paulo Vitor came up huge in goal during the Copa Gaucho final, saving 2 penalties, establishing himself as the front-runner for a starting role. In midfield, the 2 youngsters Matheus Henrique and Jean-Pierre have done well to integrate themselves in the squad. The former has slid alongside captain Maicon seamlessly, providing quality passing and great skill in possession. Meanwhile, Jean-Pierre has shown excellent attacking ability. He is capable of beating players with his excellent dribbling and possesses an adept long-ranged shooting ability. Other interesting signings include former Atletico Mineiro player and Copa Libertadores winner, Diego Tardelli, as Jael's replacement, while the former Sevilla man Walter Montoya will provide depth in the midfield. Santos team news. On the other hand, Santos has had quite the opposite of a preseason. They crashed out of the Paulista tournament at the hands of Corinthians and were eliminated from the Copa Sudamericana against River Plate, Uruguayan River Plate, that is. They lost the 2 key front men in Bruno Henrique and Gabriel Barbosa to Flamengo. Despite the financial troubles, they managed to hire Jorge Sampaoli, a relatively high-profile coach. His management of the Argentina national team in the World Cup and the club's financial issues don't seem the right fit. This only furthers the pressure on Sampaoli to get the team back to winning ways. They have been trophyless since winning the Paulista back in 2016. In order to do so, the board has managed to put together a good blend of youth and experience. They signed Peruvian international Christian Cueva, Colombian centre-back Felipe Aguilar, and left-back Jorge Monaco. Add several interesting young players such as Rodrigard, Jean Lucas and Jefferson Soteldo. Santos have been able to blend youth and experience. Vanderlei, Victor Ferraz and Carlos Sanchez will be needed to lead the young side forward. Sampaoli might just have enough to turn this squad into a top 5 team. Lineups. Gremio lined up in the typical 4-2-3-1, with no changes in regards to how they played the past 2 matches, 1-3 Libertadores win against Libertad, and the PK win against International in the Gaucho final. Renato Gaucho went with his established backline, with Maicon as his holding midfielder. Matheus Henrique playing as the second holding midfielder. Henrique looked to play further up the pitch and link up with Jean-Pierre, Alisson and Everton. The skilled target man Andre was tasked with leading the line against a 3-man defensive unit. Jorge Sampaoli tinkered between the 4-3-3 and 4-2-4 all pre-season, surprised everyone with a 5-3-2 formation. The back 3 of Gustavo Henrique, Felipe Aguilar, and Lucas Verissimo brought strength and physicality to the defense. Felipe Jonathan and Victor Ferraz, 2 able defenders covering the flanks. Santos' attack was based on the interchangeability and mobility of its forwards and midfielders. Diego Pituca, Jean Mota and Jean Lucas are capable of playing in different positions in midfield. Soteldo and Edu Sasha lead the line, neither are considered natural strikers. They are rather versatile wingers who move between the lines across the forward channel. Santos jumps out in front early at the 5th minute, after a bad pass in build-up by Leonardo Gomez. Santos found the chance to go up early and Eduardo Sasha did not let the chance slip. Santos' first goal, Soteldo's ability to drift wide, draws partial attention away from Gremio's two central midfielders and the centre-back Jeromel. This opened up space centrally, where Jean Lucas and Jean Mota found themselves free. Felipe Jonathan played a chipped pass into the undefended central area, which was headed on by Jean Lucas onto Edu Sasha's run into the box. Drawn out by Soteldo, Jeromel was unable to recover in time and helped Kahneman. Sasha calmly tapped the ball over Paulo Victor's head for the 1-0 lead. Throughout the match, Sampaoli would use the forwards and midfielders' mobility to drag out the centralized rival players, and then overload the area. With Santos' two wingbacks joining the attack, they would generate numerical superiority in midfield. In the 9th minute, Sasha almost got his second, once again after a Gremio mistake in the build-up. This time the culprit was the young Matheus Henrique, who slipped when in possession. The ball fell to Sasha, who had a shot from a metre outside the box that went barely wide. Santos' defensive block after 10 minutes. It was apparent Gremio was struggling to figure out how to penetrate the Santos defence. They did well to keep possession and string together intricate passing into the attacking third. Once they moved in the attacking third, Santos' low 9-man block allowed for little room to create chances. Santos 5-4-1 low block. As can be seen in the image above, Santos' low block consisted of the 5-man backline, and one of the two forwards, mainly Soteldo, joining the midfield line to create a 5-4-1 defensive block. This way Santos had a player available to man-mark each of Gremio's attacking players. In the 25th minute, Jean Pierre had a go from a long way outside the box, which was beautifully struck and equally well saved by Vanderlei. A few minutes later, Maicon had a go from distance which went over the bar. Even though it's a valid resource, the long shot spoke to Gremio's inability to generate chances near the box. In their domination of possession, Gremio began to find ways into the box. A lovely 1-2 play between Andre and Leo Gomez saw the latter find room in the box for a shot. The attempt was parried safely to a corner kick by Vanderlei, who began to establish himself as a key figure in the match. Santos scored the second goal, however, in the 34th minute. Santos dealt Gremio a near knockout blow. Felipe Jonathan fired home the 2-0, following a clearance from a corner kick. Santos 2-0. He anticipated Alisson, who got caught waiting for the ball after Paulo Victor had punched out the cross from the corner kick, and released a rocket into the first post. This was the young left wing-back's first goal for Santos after coming over from Chiara. Many questioned why Sampaoli had started him over former Monaco left-back Jorge, but silenced his critics with a great performance and a goal. Through Matheus Henrique's metronomic passing abilities and triangulations between Everton and Jean Pierre, Gremio found the best place stringing together neat passing plays. Working their way around the Santos defense, Gremio's passing gave them a possessional advantage but had a tough time translating it into chances. Gremio almost drew one back in the 41st minute, with a great combination play between Bruno Cortes, who played a short pass from the left-hand side, and Jean Pierre, who split the defense with a pass. He left Cortes in a perfect position to square a pass onto Andrea, who pushed it into the back of the net. Unfortunately, this was called offsides and confirmed with VAR, as is new custom in Brazilian football. Logically, Renato Portaluppi was outraged. Gremio goal called back by VAR. Second half, more of the same. Looking to protect their lead, Sampaoli made a precautionary substitution at halftime, replacing the more offensive-minded Jean Mota with Alisson, a more conservative midfield presence. The second half began much like the first ended. Gremio dominated the possession, 64%, but continued to fall short of ideas when they met the 9-man low block in the attacking third. Meanwhile, Santos looked to counter-attack, building through the flanks and exploiting the spaces left in the middle. At the 51st minute, Renato Portaluppi replaced Gremio's Alisson with Diego Tardelli. Alisson had not had a good match, contributing little to the attack, and getting caught flat-footed on the rebound from the clearance in the second goal. A few minutes later, youngster Jean-Pierre was replaced by the talented Lewin. Lewin was perhaps the best player on the team during the 2017 Libertadores Championship run, but off-field issues, as well as attitude problems, have staggered the growth of the very promising player. Lewin had an immediate impact on the game, firing a curling shot after great hold-up play by Andre. He also had a free-kick shot on goal. Both were expertly dealt with by Vanderlei, who fully established himself as the man of the match in the second half. Sampaoli's unorthodox tactics. Still, Gremio remained unable to penetrate the Santos defense. On the other hand, Santos looked for any excuse to kill time, be it fouls, thrown-ins, injuries, or subs. Edu Sacha was replaced by the Paraguayan Derlis Gonzalez in the 68th, even less of a forward and more of a winger midfielder. Santos was fully withdrawn into their own half, most of the time defending with a 5-4-1. Sampaoli, a coach known for his possession style of play and bold, attacking formations, showed a completely different facet in this match. Santos was defending so deep in their own half, Portaluppi even risked subbing off his left-back, Bruno Cortes, in place of another centre-forward in Felipe Viseu at the 75th minute. Gremio put all their offensive firepower on the pitch with Tardelli, Viseu, and Andre on the field. Gremio now had three dangerous big men capable of winning headers. With Everton and Lewin working on the wings, they consistently looked to fire crosses into the box. Gremio piling men into the box. In the image above we can see Gremio's forward stacking the box, while Everton works the wings. Gremio put a total of 30 crosses throughout the match, only connecting on 26.6% of them. Counted by a total of 33 clearances from the Santos defense. Surely not the game Portaluppi and his men had imagined pre-game, taking into consideration Sampaoli's past playing styles. On those crosses that connected, one came in the 84th minute, where Everton's low cross found Tardelli's back heel. The Vanderlei's heroic double save kept the Santos clean sheet, as he leapt across goal for the initial save and the dove forward saving the rebound shot by Viseu. Everton's goal. Gremio finally found the back of the net, but at the 93rd minute. Everton received the ball inside the box, accelerated past Gustavo Henrique and fired a strong, low shot across goal. Despite Vanderlei's effort to get a foot on it, the ball deflected into the back of the net, albeit too late for Gremio. Summary: Sampaoli is known for his unorthodox tactics. However, this was unorthodox in the sense that it was his defensive solidarity and order, rather than his typical offensive firepower and disorder, that helped Santos get the first 3 points of the tournament. Santos will face Fluminense during the week in yet another tough matchup for Sampaoli's men. Meanwhile, Gremio will be expected to pick up the first 3 points of the season as they face the week on Wednesday. If you love tactical analysis, then you'll love the digital magazines from TotalFootballAnalysis.com, a guaranteed 100 pages of pure tactical analysis covering topics from the Premier League, Serie A, La Liga, Bundesliga and many, many more. Buy your copy of the April issue for just 4 liras and 99 cents to see me here, or even better, sign up for a 50 liras annual membership, 12 monthly issues plus the annual review, right here. Let's block ads. Why?